and welcome to Dott Television Midday News. I am Nkechi Chukwudi. A major incident was averted on Thursday at the Benin airport after an Enugu aircraft veered off the runway shortly after landing. The aircraft was an Embraer 170 with registration number 5NENR, reportedly departed the runway at about 1:57 p.m. after touching down. Sources at the airport say the aircraft was operating a scheduled commercial flight and had 72 people on board, comprising passengers and crew members. An eyewitness at the airport said emergency response teams acted promptly, ensuring the safe evacuation of everyone on board. No injuries or fatalities were recorded.
They waka dey come this side, ma come say market. So come dey hear with the do. People come dey say what dey happen. Everybody begin dey run, dey come outside. Before they know what dey happen, now aeroplane come fall. They come dey shout what dey happen, why it come fall. Abi don't get issue, abi na waiting. Okay, people come dey look whether anybody never die for inside. They say thank God nobody die. Nah, everybody don't they come outside. Because they never fly go high. If you don't fly go high, many people for die.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, Peter Obi, has called for a comprehensive investigation into the runway excursion involving an Enugu aircraft at Benin Airport, saying the incident underscores the urgent need to strengthen aviation safety in Nigeria. Obi made the call in a statement shared on his official social media page while reacting to the incident, which occurred during the aircraft's landing at the airport. The former Anambra State governor expressed relief that all 67 passengers and crew members on board escaped unarmed with no injuries or fatalities recorded. And back home in Delta State, Delta environmental activists have criticized the federal and Delta State government for allowing crude oil spill in Uzere community located in Isoko South local government area of Delta State to continue spilling more than a month after locals noticed it and raised the alarm is matter for discussion. Uzere community has a long history of oil exploration activities and incidents. It is adjudged that the second location where oil was found in Nigeria shortly after Oloibiri in present-day Bayelsa State. The latest incident adds to the growing list of environmental challenges facing the Niger Delta region, where decades of oil extraction have left a legacy of pollution and ecological damage. The catastrophic spill that has thrown the community into turmoil started with equipment failure at the facility on Saturday, June 27, 2026. The incident also left a trail of destruction, displacing residents and devastating the livelihoods of hundreds of families in the affected area. Most affected is Uhere Quarter, where crops have been destroyed, aquatic life decimated, and citizens forced to abandon their homes and belongings. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Isoko South local government area, Friday Ovokewori, has appealed to the residents of Uzere Kingdom to remain calm following the massive crude oil spill that has ravaged farmlands, polluted water bodies, and sparked fears of a major environmental disaster in the oil-producing community. Wari made the appeal during an inspection of the affected area alongside the Delta State Commissioner for Oil and Gas, Peter Oviechedobo. Speaking during the inspection, Wari assured the community that the Delta State government was working closely with Heritage Energy and relevant regulatory agencies to contain the spill and prevent further damage. He appealed to the residents to remain peaceful and avoid taking the law into their own hands, stressing that emergency measures were already in place to bring the situation under control. Away from that, the Delta State House of Assembly has adjourned plenary and proceeded on to a 6-week annual recess to enable members refresh and attend to other priorities. The motion for the adjournment was moved by the Leader of the House, Emeka Nwobi, seconded by Kpereotu Oloye, Brute the 2nd constituency, and unanimously adopted at the plenary presided over by the Speaker, Imomotimi Gowo.
Before hitting the gavel to formally seal the recess, Kuo commended members for their diligence, dedication, and commitment to duty in the last legislative session. The Speaker expressed appreciation to the lawmakers for their hard work and urged them to take advantage of the break to enhance their legislative capacity through scheduled training programs. He also charged members to use the recess periods to reach out to their constituents, interface with them on government policies and programs, and bring back their needs and aspirations to the House for legislative attention.
We are expected to sit at the press center for the commencement of our training program. Thank you for this.
The Speaker further acknowledged the role of the media in giving visibility to the activities of the legislature, commending members of the press for their consistent, balanced, and responsible coverage of House proceedings, committee sittings, and oversight engagements, while urging journalists to continue partnering with the Assembly in keeping the public informed about its activities. Goa appreciated all other stakeholders for their contributions to the smooth running of legislative business and the passage of people-oriented bills and motions.
This training program that we should be committed, we should be involved, and also I want to use this opportunity to thank all members for your total commitment to work. Let me also use the opportunity to thank management, staff, and the press for your support. Thank you very much for the work you are doing. Those in favor of the motion as moved by the Leader of the House and seconded by the member presenting Rututu that this Honorable House do not adjourn plenary to Tuesday, the first day of September 2026 at 10 a.m. The rules in favor say aye. The rules say aye.
The House is expected to resume plenary on Tuesday, September 1, 2026. Emeka Okonkwo reporting for Dott TV News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the country's monetary policy rate, also known as the benchmark interest rate, at 26.5%, despite a recent decline in the nation's headline inflation rate. With inflation easing to 15.91% according to the National Bureau of Statistics, many Nigerians are asking why the Apex Bank chose to maintain the current interest rate. Cynthia Danaya completes the report.
The monetary policy rate is the benchmark interest rate used by the Central Bank of Nigeria to influence borrowing, lending, and spending across the economy. Although inflation has moderated in recent months, the central bank says global economic uncertainties, persistent food price pressures, and other inflationary risks informed its decision to retain the rate at 26.5%. Some economists believe keeping the interest rate unchanged will help sustain the gains recorded in reducing inflation while preserving investor confidence in the economy.
The 25% monetary policy rate in the face of declining inflation is justified on the ground that one of the major challenges facing the Nigerian economy is uncontrolled increase in prices of goods and services, which you refer to as inflation. So the idea actually is to ensure that inflation does not get out of control, because we have a lot of money in circulation outside the banking system.
However, business owners argued that the high interest rate has made access to credit more expensive, limiting business expansion, investment opportunities, and job creation.
If they can actually just reduce the level of interest rate in applying for loans, like if you want to access loan as a businessman, the interest rate should be reduced.
Residents also expressed concern over the high cost of living, saying they hope the decline in inflation will eventually translate into lower prices for food, transportation, and other essential goods.
If inflation is dropping, it's going to impact directly to the prices of commodities. That is the basic truth. Take, for instance, if I buy fuel for 800 naira, even if I'm a farmer, the price of my goods will come down because it affects transportation. It affects basic needs.
Many Nigerians call for policies that will stabilize the economy, improve purchasing power, support businesses, and ease the financial burden on households. While the central bank believes maintaining the current interest rate will help preserve economic stability, many Nigerians remain hopeful that the easing inflation rate will soon lead to lower prices, improve business activities, and a better standard of living. Reporting from Asaba, Cynthia Adanaya, Dott TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the expansion of the Nigerian Army from 8 to 12 divisions and the recruitment of 28,000 additional military, strengthen border security and improve response times to emerging threats nationwide. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the presidency said the expansion would see 4 new division headquarters established in Makurdi, Ilori, Jalingo, and Benin City. The president further revealed that the 4 new divisional commands would signify improved command and control and decentralized operational decision-making, enhanced counter-insurgency and internal security operations. In the meantime, a soldier, Private Mohammed Yusuf Amutu, has been declared wanted by the Nigerian Army Ordnance Corps over alleged involvement in the illegal sale and supply of military uniforms to terrorists and other criminal elements. In a statement signed by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, Oluwatope Dorcas Aluko, the Corps said preliminary investigations revealed that Amutu, who was serving in the Nigerian Army Ordnance Kits Factory, absconded from his unit on June 3, 2026. The Corps said it has zero tolerance for misconduct, indiscipline, or any act capable of compromising the operational effectiveness, integrity, and reputation of the Nigerian Army or threatening national security. It also appealed to the members of the public to support ongoing efforts by providing credible information that could lead to the arrest of the wanted soldier. Still ahead on the midday news, the Minority Caucus stages walkout as House of Representatives passes State Police Bill. Plus foreign news and sport news stories coming up after the break. Stay with us.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Welcome back. Now to the rest of our stories. The House of Representatives on Thursday approved the Constitution Alteration Bill seeking to establish state police across Nigeria. This is despite a protest and a walkout by members of the Minority Caucus who argue that the legal framework required further refinement and the constitutional amendment process was not properly followed. The bill, titled A Bill for an Act to Alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for the establishment of state police services and for related matters, secured the constitutionally required two-thirds majority after consideration by the House. If it is harmonized with the Senate version approved by at least two-thirds of the 36-state House of Assembly and assented to by the President in line with the constitutional requirements for amendments, the legislation will create the constitutional basis for the establishment of state police services in Nigeria. The Abia State Police Command has confirmed the mysterious death of a family of 5 in Umuimu, Osisoma, Ngwa local government area of the state, found dead inside their residence on Tuesday after they had not been seen for several days. Confirming the incident on Thursday, the police public relations officer, Maureen Chinaka, said the matter was reported to the Osisioma Divisional Police Headquarters by the deceased's brother. Meanwhile, a video circulating on social media showed community members performing traditional rites following the discovery, although the circumstances surrounding the deaths remain unclear. Police say investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the deaths. The United States has condemned the killing of members of Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo's family in Plateau State. The State Department's Africa Bureau described the attack as horrific and called for the perpetrators to be held accountable. In a statement posted on X and urged Nigerian authorities to take stronger measures to prevent further attacks and hold those responsible accountable. As you may already know, 9 members of Dachomo's family, extended family, including a 2-month-old baby, were massacred in an overnight attack on Kum community in Riyom local government area of Plateau State on July 12th. The government linked to the Fulani militias have asked for the pastor by name before opening fire on his relatives. Now for more news on the international scene, let's join Dott Television's Priscilla Ifani.
French authorities have ordered the evacuation of the entirety of the Cape Ferret Peninsula on the southwest coast, with hundreds of people escaping the area by boat. Tens of thousands of people are being evacuated from the tourism destination west of borders as firefighters continue to battle wildfires that have raged in Gironde region for days. The fires, which began on Tuesday in Samos, continued to burn overnight with 8,700 hectares consumed by the flames. Meanwhile, the government in Spain has declared a national emergency as wildfires burn out of control in several areas close to the capital, Madrid. French Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said 40,000 people had either been or were in the process of being evacuated from the peninsula, which has the Atlantic on the side and the Bay of the Acheron on the other. Further down the Atlantic coast, around the towns of Bissacors in France-Lards region, another major fire that began on Thursday afternoon has prompted the evacuation of more than 23,000 people. About 18,000 people in Bicaros and 5,000 in Parents and Born had to leave their homes, campsite, a nursing home, and a summer camp. So yet another distressing story. We heard the powerful twin earthquakes devastated Venezuela's northern coastline a month ago. 49-year-old Victor Cadron, a fisherman, had been on the boat at sea for 18 days and was told by radio that the building he and his family lived in had collapsed. When he got back to shore, a staggering 26 members of his families were gone. They include his sisters, their children and grandchildren, as well as his stepfather and 9 cousins. Their ages ranged from 2 years old to their late 70s. His daughter and granddaughter thankfully survived, and much reduced family now lives in a tent on a golf course. 1 month on from the disaster, he is not the only one still searching for and finding loved ones. More than 5,300 people are confirmed to have died in the earthquakes, and more than 16,500 were injured, according to a tally updated almost daily by the government. The government has not said how many people are still missing, but the figure is estimated to be in tens of thousands. Elsewhere, the US has imposed new tariffs on sister trading partners in the latest escalation in the trade war reignited by US President Donald Trump when he returned to office last year. Those targeted, including the UK, China, and the European Union, will face a tariff of 10% to 12.5% on all goods, accounting for almost all American imports. The tariff, which replaced an identical levy which expires on Friday, are based on claims key economic partners had failed to properly tackle forced labor. But the US trade expert Caroline Fred said the move is not about forced labor, but that Trump is simply looking for a legal reason to put the tariffs in. The US Supreme Court had ruled earlier this year that many of the tariffs imposed globally under emergency powers were illegally enacted. Finally, the chairman of the corporate giant SK Group has been ordered by a South Korean court to pay his ex-wife $644 million won in a case that local media has called the divorce of the century. The award, which needs to be finalized, is below the initial 1.38 trillion won that the chairman Choi Tae-won was told to pay Roh Se-young in 2024. It comes more than a decade after his marriage to Roh, the daughter of a former president, fell apart following the revelation he had fathered a child with another woman. The verdict comes after deliberation over the division of assets between Roh and Choi, who had been married for 35 years. Priscilla Ifani, Dott TV News.
Up next, sports stories with Anthony Uche.
Our first up is with the Super Falcons, as Justin Madugu's side took their preparations for the upcoming Women's Africa Cup of Nations a notch higher with a friendly win over Tanzania behind closed doors. The 10-time African champions won the match by 2-1 thanks to a last-minute goal from Esther Okoronkwo after the Tanzanian ladies pegged them back following Captain Rasheedat Ajibade's opener. The camp is now full with 25 players on ground following the arrivals of the pair of Gifts Monday and Deborah Abiodun following travel delays. On the continent, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has announced that Nigeria will host its Ordinary General Assembly in November. The president of the organization, Patrice Motsepe, announced during a press briefing in Johannesburg, South Africa on Wednesday, outlining CAF's plans following the 2026 FIFA World Cup and highlighting key initiatives aimed at developing football across the continent. The gathering is Africa's highest decision-making meeting, featuring presidents and representatives of CAF's 54 member nations to deliberate on issues that affect the game, including governance, competitions, and the way forward. Now to Spain, where World Cup winners Fabian Ruiz and Gavi returned to their hometown of Los Palacios y Villafranca near Seville to receive a unique tribute, their exact body weights in local Bonbon Colaro tomatoes. Stepping onto municipal scales outside the town hall, the Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Fabian Ruiz weighed 85 kilograms, while Barcelona's Gavi tipped the scales at 68.5 kilograms, earning them a combined 153.3. Jesus Navas won the World Cup and received the same agricultural reward. Beyond the hefty supply of tomatoes, the municipality honored the midfielders by renaming 2 local pitches after the pair. The town council also announced to build permanent monuments dedicated to Ruiz, Gavi, and Navas to celebrate the town's remarkable legacy of producing 3 World Cup champions. Now to some transfer news, where Manchester City has announced the signing of England midfielder Elliot Anderson for a fixed fee of £116 million from Nottingham Forest. The transfer was the British record for the highest fee paid for a player until Morgan Rogers' transfer from Aston Villa to Chelsea of £117 million broke it. Anderson put pen to paper on a 6-year deal. Barcelona have also signed forward Karim Adeyemi from Borussia Dortmund for a reported fee of €29 million, including potential add-ons, making him Barcelona's second signing after the acquisition of Anthony Gordon from Newcastle. Adeyemi joined Dortmund in 2022 from Red Bull Salzburg, netting 36 times in 146 games across all competitions in his 4 seasons at the German club. From the Sports Desk, Anthony Uche for Dott TV News.
And that concludes our